Hello. I just tried to go live a few minutes ago and share my screen, and I couldn't. So I had to start over, and I still couldn't share my screen for like unknown mystery reasons, but whatever. I'm sorry. I'll figure it out. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk quickly about the transits right now. So I've been getting, a lot of messages, personal messages, and then in the group, people have been talking about the crazy energy that's going on right now. And there really is. Um, Crazy energy going on right now. So it's good to take a look at it and see what is going on. And I wish I could share my screen with you. And I actually don't know where I stuck my phone, so I can't even hold up my phone and show you. But when I pulled up the transits right now, so first off, what are the transits? The transits are what is the night sky doing right this minute? Okay, so all of us have our own natal chart, which is the chart of the night sky at the moment we took our first breath, the breath of life, right? And that chart is kind of like a map of your life. It's like your DNA. It's your spiritual DNA. And it's that same moment that they use for human design. So you have your human design chart, you have your star chart, your astrology chart. And then the transits are what's going on right this minute. And so how everything moves right this minute is going to affect everybody differently based on their natal chart. So for example, if you have like really prominent Libra energy today, so if you have a Libra sun, like if you know I'm a Libra, there's a lot of stuff going on in Libra right now today. The sun is in Libra today at 19 degrees, and Mars is at 18 degrees, and Mercury's at 13 degrees. So they're all in a row right there in Libra. That's a lot of energy all around issues of fairness and equality. Libra deals with are things fair? It deals with are things equal? And justice, and it deals with romantic relationships. So if you're having relationship issues or feeling like things are not fair, then that would make sense right now. But especially because Mars and Mercury are right there next to it. And so we're looking at basically a heightened willingness to fight about it and to talk about it. And so if you're seeing an uptick in negative discourse where people are like arguing and fighting about stuff, that could really be linked to this energy that's a national energy right now. I mean, it's not even just national, it's a global energy. Everyone all over the world is going to be feeling the ramifications of Mars next to the sun, next to Mercury, and it's inviting all of us to speak up about the things that are taking us off because we think they're not fair. Okay, so if you find yourself embroiled in a fight about things not being fair, or like you're getting in arguments with the people that you love, it's time to take a deep breath and remember that this is a global energy. You don't have to participate in it. Or if you do participate in it, you can choose to do it consciously and say, yeah, I want to talk about the things I think are not fair, but I'm going to do it in a way that's not going to negatively impact my karma, basically. Like, I don't want to hurt other people with the way that I am expressing myself. But the thing that I really wanted to talk about today with the transit is that today Saturn is exact the part of fortune. Okay, so Saturn is the planet of karma. They call it the Lord of Karma. And so the Lord of Karma, Saturn, Saturn goes with Kronos in Greek mythology, just like Pluto equals Hades or like Venus equals Aphrodite. Saturn equals Kronos. And Kronos, we get the word chronology from that. He has to deal with time. And basically, kind of like the premise of my 30 days of belief work thing, where over time, the tiny decisions that you make every day add up. And those decisions, you get your consequences, the natural consequences. So Saturn calls back all your natural consequences. If you have made really great choices and you have like really good, belief programming and your emotions are in a good place, your consequences are going to be awesome. And so some people call Saturn the Great Malefic because it can bring back your consequences. Most people make bad choices, and so then they have to face these negative consequences, and it's painful. But if you make really great choices, then having Saturn call back your consequences means blessings and money and positive relationships and all this good stuff. So today, the part of fortune is exact Saturn. The part of fortune is a mathematical point that's calculated based on, various astronomical calculations. And but what it indicates is your treasure. So today, everybody in the whole world has the opportunity to find their treasure in their consequences. Okay? Whenever I see Saturn, to me it's an invitation. When it's a prominent placement on a chart, it's telling me that we have this choice and this chance to dig into our unresolved stuff and resolve it so that we can have good consequences. Basically, that's like one of the big things that we've got going on. We need to um, resolve the stuff that we're paying for still. So if we have just like the stuff that we haven't taken care of yet, if we're having a hard time right now, it's because we have this invitation to find our treasure in resolving those issues. So if that's a fight that you've had, or a time that you cheated or stole or lied, I don't know, any time that you've done a thing that the consequences are naturally negative consequences, today we have this huge invitation to find a treasure by resolving it. And sometimes, I do just want to mention this, sometimes the treasure is financial, sometimes it's money. And that may be something to keep an eye on as well, is how's your money doing, and how could your money be tied to your natural consequences. Now, I was not planning to talk about this, but it's coming into my mind, so I'm going to talk about it. But the concept of tithing comes up. And the concept of tithing is that you give 10% back to our divine source, right? And tithing is just such a powerful concept. And I believe in tithing for everybody. I don't care what religion you are. I think giving back is just a great concept. And that 10% number is just a really powerful number. So this is a really great day, probably, if you have not been, giving up. How do we say it? I don't want to say giving up, because tithing comes back to you. Like every time that you release 10% back to the universe with a spirit of thanks and the intention to bless other people, the universe sends more back to you. So you will always make more back than what you release out through tithing. And for tithing, you can really tithe how you want to. Like in my own church, we're supposed to tithe to our church, but I really believe that if you tithe to whatever feels right for you to tithe to, you're gonna see divine blessings pour in from that. Today with Saturn exact the part of fortune, I would say that this is a really prime energy for releasing monetary things into the world and allowing and expecting a monetary reward in return. Yeah, giving back not necessarily to just a religious establishment or organization, but to any nonprofit that does good. Yeah, exactly. And or even not even a nonprofit. I mean, I pay my tithing to my church, but like I also give to like individuals, or if there's somebody in your life like that, however you feel prompted to release that 10% to whoever, like if that's what your spirit, yeah, even giving to specific individuals. Exactly. So I would say tune into yourself and just ask, like, where can I give, who shall I give back to? You're gonna get a divine answer from your source, and as you act on it, that is going to invite some serious treasures into your life. Now this is it's a transit, so now the house has changed. We won't analyze that part of it. Jupiter is also in Aquarius. That Saturn and part of fortune are exact in Aquarius, and Jupiter is also in Aquarius, and Jupiter expands your money. So yeah, go give back today. Like, go give back to somebody today and open up for some financial blessings in return. Yeah, give, and it doesn't necessarily have to be financial either. And I want to mention that one of my good friends tithes her day. I love that. I super love that. She sets aside 2.5 hours every morning. Can you believe this? This is why I only have one friend that does this, I think. Maybe more people do it. I don't know. But she sets aside the first 2.5 hours of her day from 4 to 6:30 to like meditation, prayer, journaling, like really connecting with our divine source, and she tithes her day, and I just think that is so beautiful. But there's, yeah, time and deeds too, not just financial. Exactly, how can we tithe our deeds? How can we tithe our, you know, whatever we're doing today, our time, you know? So that is a powerful thing today. Okay, last thing. I have about 2 minutes and then I get to take my 6-year-old to the dentist. Okay, keeping it real. Today we also have Venus conjunct the South Node. So the South Node is the kind of the right, we've talked about this a lot. You go from the South Node to the North Node during the nodal transit. So basically, right now we're going from Sagittarius to Gemini, and we've talked about this in some of my other videos where we're kind of going from relying on experts to relying on what are we seeing with our own eyes. Okay, so that's a big message of this nodal shift and this nodal transit. Sorry, baby. But Venus is conjunct the South Node right now, and in Sagittarius. So Venus deals also with money. So it's interesting that this is a really prominent energy going on right now. So let's see, what's a possible interpretation of this? When it comes to your money and relationships, we could be looking at dealing with the, again, consequences, the ramifications of people's behavior and choices. So if you have good consequences, this is really good. If you have done some bad choices, then it might not be looking so good for you right now. And now is the time to resolve your stuff. Go resolve your stuff so that you can invite more prosperity into your life. In Sagittarius, I mean, that does have to do with experts. It has to do with travel mentally as well as physically. So I don't know, you might just take a look. Oh, somebody who's just mentioned that, Chelsea, said you're selling a pickup. So that's like really funny because this energy does have to do with travel, and like you would drive in a pickup truck. So anyway, you might look at, you know, the way that you travel. Oh my gosh, that really reminds me of the Southwest Airlines situation right now. What an amazing application of Venus conjunct the South Node, where we're dealing with kind of the negative consequences of, you know, a bunch of stuff going on that's involving money and travel for lots of people. Lots of people affected by that. So that is really interesting. And all of that is in opposition to Ceres right now, which deals with self-care. So what the message of that is, if you're feeling stressed about money or travel, it's time to let go, sit in the bubble bath or whatever, like go do your self-care, tune back into yourself, do some meditations. So anyway, I was not expecting to spend this whole morning talking about money, but I did. So there we go. Here's a Facebook Live for you about what the transits are talking about with money right now. And okay, I have to take my kid to the dentist. So thank you for your good vibes so that his teeth are not as crazy as I think they might be. Okay, goodbye.